Well, America has around 30 million security cameras around the country, and now computer scientists have developed a way to let law enforcement tap into any one of them that isn't protected by a password. Wired magazine reports the system is still just in the proof of concept stage and wouldn't use private feeds or those in a home. But privacy advocates worry that necessary surveillance could turn into overreach by the government or even an authorized use of the system, along with the possibility that someone could hack into it.
Forget the fireworks. Japan wants to make history at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo with, get this, man-made meteors. A company called Starail is planning something called the Sky Canvas Project to, quote, paint the night sky with shooting stars. The so-called meteors will actually be hundreds of small multicolored pellets released by microsatellites, which the company will start launching as soon as next year. The pellets are designed to ignite, clear, and bright as they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. Think of it as like a light show, but on a cosmic scale. The display comes with an expensive price tag, however. Each microsatellite costs over $100,000. The shooting stars run about $8,000 a piece.
Something else that, I feel we are in an upside down world. Friday the 13th, backwards day. The Charlotte Observer actually put out an editorial making the case that girls need to overcome their discomfort of seeing male genitals in the locker room. They are assuming that the bathroom bill is going to eventually be repealed or declared illegal. And so they're saying that they need to get over this feeling of discomfort at the sight of male genitalia when transgender facilities are allowed in North Carolina. And the Washington Times reports that this is what the Obama administration nudged the rest of the country toward Friday. Yes, the thought of male genitalia in girls' locker rooms and vice versa might be distressing to some, but the battle for equality has always been in part about overcoming discomfort, with blacks sharing facilities, with gays sharing marriage, and then realizing it was not nearly so awful as some people imagined. So the fact that they're saying that it was nudged by the Obama administration is very hilarious, considering they're now going to be arresting people and punishing businesses and things like that. It's being forced down people's throats.
Gun control is once again a major issue in the race for the presidency after Donald Trump was endorsed by the National Rifle Association Friday. Hillary Clinton has an event in Florida today addressing mothers who lost children to gun violence. Here's Juliana Goldman.
Crooked Hillary Clinton is the most anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment candidate ever to run for office.
Armed with his NRA endorsement, Donald Trump spent less time detailing his own gun proposals and instead tore into Hillary Clinton.
Hillary wants to disarm vulnerable Americans in high-crime neighborhoods. Whether it's a young single mom in Florida or a grandmother in Ohio.
Clinton hit back, tweeting, "You're wrong, Donald Trump. We can uphold Second Amendment rights while preventing senseless gun violence." With a majority of voters saying gun policy is important in the November election, Trump and Clinton are drawing their battle lines.
The gun lobby is the most powerful lobby in Washington.
The Democratic frontrunner has called for stricter gun laws, including universal background checks and gun-free zones for schools and public facilities.
They have figured out how to intimidate elected officials at all levels, who basically just stop thinking about this problem because they're too scared to stand up to the NRA.
Trump is proposing getting rid of gun-free zones, has called for making concealed carry permits valid across the country, and is against an assault rifle ban. But after the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre, Trump applauded President Obama's speech calling for stricter gun laws, tweeting, "President Obama spoke for me and every American."
The scale of child sexual abuse in the UK continues to shock. Following the Jimmy Savile scandal, the number of cases being passed on to the police is now about 100 a month. And with this increase, by the year 2020, it is thought the police could be investigating 200,000 cases. Many of the referrals came from institutions like the church, schools and hospitals, all places which were attended by vulnerable children. Last year, police forces in England and Wales investigated 70,000 cases of children who had been abused. And according to Simon Bailey, who is leading an investigation into child sexual abuse, the rise in investigations is not just down to an increase in reporting, but to more children actually being abused.
With the age of the internet, it's much more easier to access this disgusting pornography, and therefore people are also getting caught doing it. If you look back at the time of Savile, they didn't take it seriously at all. Under immense pressure, they are being forced to take these crimes very seriously, and therefore having to act on them.
Dealing with child sexual abuse in the UK has been somewhat difficult. More and more children are coming forward saying they've been abused, and even with the increase in funding to deal with the growing problem, the issue is still not only there, but getting worse.
Egypt's top forensic official denies a report this morning that human remains from Egypt Air Flight 804 suggest an explosion on board. So far, no traces of explosives have been found.
The Greek government said that just after the plane left its airspace, it swerved wildly and plummeted before finally falling off the radar screen. But now Egypt's head of air navigation services has denied that, saying the plane was flying normally when last seen on Egyptian radar. Meanwhile, data published by an aviation industry website appears to show there was smoke on board the plane in the minutes before it crashed. But experts say the smoke alarms could also have been triggered by a sudden loss in pressure. Even the plane's flight recorders, or so-called black boxes, may not tell us what went wrong. It depends on the information they contain, if they're recovered.
It's wildly popular, but parents beware. Predators may be using online gaming to target your child.
I honestly didn't think anything like that would ever happen to anybody in my family.
This woman, who we'll call Susan, says a stranger approached her son while he was playing Clash of Clans online with a group of friends.
Can you remember well that day and what happened?
Yeah, it glooms me, definitely.
Her son, we'll call him Simon, was 8 years old at the time, and within a matter of minutes gave his phone number, last name, and even sent the stranger a picture of himself.
Do I have it right? The person went from immediately saying hi to send me a picture.
Yeah, basically.
Meanwhile, Susan is at the grocery store and is able to watch this conversation live because her smartphone is synced with the device Simon is using at home.
Your phone starts a-buzzing, and what do you see?
My son sends a picture, just a goofy little boy picture of his face, and the other person sends a picture of a teenage girl. But it's a picture of a picture, not a selfie. And now I'm starting to realize, okay, this is not good. I've got to get him off this game. I'm calling my husband at home, just saying, get the iPad away from him. He's on with a stranger.
And they're not the only ones. It happened to 10-year-old Olivia, who was playing the popular game Minecraft. A person calling himself Ben told Olivia he was 12 years old. They texted for weeks.
He sent me a photo. It did kind of look like he was 12.
Olivia's mom was suspicious that something just wasn't right. She took her daughter's phone one night.
I said, my mom's asleep, send me a picture. He said, well, if I take a picture of every inch of my body, will you do the same? And I said, yes, but I'm running out of time, and he sent 3 within 30 seconds.
According to the FBI's website, there are 750,000 predators online at any given time, and they all could have a virtual key to your house via the internet.
But a lot of the online games now have a multiplayer feature where you're connected to people all across the globe, whether that's live chat over a microphone or chat on a keyboard. You can be connected to just about anybody.
How has that changed your gaming experience, how you use the internet?
It just makes me more careful when I'm playing games that can have other people join. I always make my code name like not a last name or anything that they could find out.
Did you and Dad find yourselves being a little overprotective after this happened?
Whenever I get tired and think, oh, I can't figure out another new game, I just remind myself we were given a little blessing in a situation that keeps us vigilant.